This is another political robocall tip. And what I'm going to talk about right now is uses for robocalls. What are the potential uses? Many people use it for a campaign platform to disseminate information about what their campaign is about. Probably not the best use. I've not found those to be extremely effective. Supplementing other advertising is a really good use. Many will send out a mailer and then do a political robocall right after it to double up on the mailer. And that's become very common in these days. Attack ads, if you have a vulnerability of your opponent. Now remember, in small campaigns, you don't want to embellish. You want to be as honest and accurate as possible, and attack ads should only be used for situations that are directly related to campaign issues. Pulling out dirt about divorce or a sex scandal or something like that in small campaigns just doesn't seem to work very good. Never embellish whatever you do. The supplementing current events. I like this as a means of using a robocall. Always watch that front page of the newspaper. Check the local evening news. Try to find some event that occurs and then use a robocall to piggyback on that. That way you double up on the advertising. So if for example, if you get an award being the person of the year, you could do a robocall supplementing that was in the newspaper. Or if you get a great endorsement by someone, perhaps do a robocall bragging about your endorsement. Anytime you have something going on in the newspaper or on TV that's related to your campaign, give good consideration whether you should use that as a robocall. Disinformation is another means of using a robocall. This is not lying. It's not embellishing. It has nothing to do with that. When you do your robocalls, you should test your calls to make sure it's a good issue that people want to hear. And if you find an issue that you think is good and it turns out that only 10 or 15% of the people listen to your call and you find out it's a stupid issue, why not take that call and send it out to your opponent? Pick out your opponent's phone number and 10, 12, 15 of the minions and set that up in a file by itself. So you send that call out just to your opponent and their cronies and send it out a couple times a week at a cost of maybe $1. And try to put them on the wrong track to an issue that has nothing to do with the campaign because you, through experimentation, have discovered nobody cares. There's one way to do it. It makes them spend resources on something that isn't necessary, that isn't important to the campaign. Testimonials are another good way to use robocalls. But by using a testimonial, what you're really doing is piggybacking on name recognition of the prominent person that's doing the testimonial. Be cautious. Some testimonials can isolate. I had a campaign that came out, and when they did a testimonial from a high-ranking Democrat, and this was a nonpartisan campaign. Testimonial came from a high-ranking Democrat, and they sent it out not only to Democrats, but also all the Republicans. And it was a real turnoff to the Republicans having a testimonial from a high-ranking Democrat. So, watch who you're sending these testimonials to. Make sure you identify your audience before you send it out. And there's many other ways to use robocalls. Use your imagination, but make sure you test your call. Make sure you have a very good script. And I'll do a video on outlining and diagramming a script for a robocall.